Joshua, that's right. He's holding it. All right. So you need that. You can use this. All right. Now remember, just eye contact. You don't have to go crazy. Don't stare at one person too long because then that kind of freaks them out. Okay. But you want to stare at them a little bit, and then move over and just kind of like this. Don't jump like this and like this. Okay. You're not doing that. All right. Make it feel comfortable. And what's cool about it is it's always easier to talk to one person, right? So all you're doing is, like, I'm talking to this guy. I'm telling him a story. And then halfway through the story, I switch it. And I'm telling to this guy. And you're switching and talking to that guy. You got it? All right. Let's hear one more round of applause. Everyone pay attention.
Okay. Genesis. Life began during my conception, when two cells merged to form my basic genetic makeup that would dictate much of my physical and personal characteristics. During pregnancy, I was allegedly the more active child, often kicking and squirming in the uterus, forcing my parents to constantly acknowledge my existence. Exodus. On September 9th, 2004, I finally emerged into this world, screaming, crying, and awfully wrinkled. It was at this point when my parents decided to name me Joshua, for no particular reason other than it sounded nice. Early life. The first 3 years of my life can be characterized by bare idleness, as I did little more than exist. However, a few interesting things did occur during this period, such as my ability to talk and walk. During the first year of my life, I was able to evolve my means of transportations from a simple crawl to a graceful waddle. It was also at around this time when my parents made the unfortunate discovery that I am allergic to peanuts and tree nuts. At around age 2, I developed basic language skills, being able to communicate using simple Mandarin. However, it was about to change when I entered preschool. During preschool, I was enrolled into Quinton Road Christian Preschool at the age of 4. During this time, I quickly learned to speak English and began to develop a few interests, such as love for art and animated TV shows. Overall, I continued a simple life. However, life started to become more complex at around age 6, when I entered kindergarten. I continued to attend Quinton Road Christian Preschool for kindergarten, but at this age I began to develop a basic social life, making a small friend group and frequently interacting with peers. The kindergarten program also introduced me to academics, and I began to learn math and literature. From what I can recall, it was around this age when I began showing interest in science too, and even asked to buy a book about human anatomy, although I didn't actually read it, I just looked at the pictures. Looking back, kindergarten felt awfully short, as my life quickly progressed into the first grade. At age 7, I attended Country Meadows Elementary School, which was the first step into a new school district that I would be in for the next 8 years of my life. The first grade proved to be a pivotal moment in my life in several respects. One being that I attended a different school district and knew very few people, and thus I was forced to restart my social life, with the main difference being a massive shift in priorities. At that point, my parents started to direct my time from focusing on personal pleasure and relaxation to developing academic skills and finding talent that would lead to my success in the future. They achieved this by enrolling me into extra academic programs to get me ahead of my elementary school class, such as Kumon and Khan Academy, and pushed me to learn the violin and swimming. While I struggled to appreciate these changes at first, by 5th grade I was seeing eye to eye with my parents, and became motivated to succeed academically. After 5th grade, me and my peers attended Woodlawn Middle School, which to my 12-year-old eyes was an overwhelming transition that meant the formation of more friendships and more academic pressure. Just graduating from Woodlawn Middle School, I can safely say that for the most part, I was correct. From that point on, I became more focused on academics and oftentimes obsessed over grades and tests. But the fundamental change that occurred during this time was development of interests that I could pursue in school through extracurricular activities, namely my interest in science, particularly biology and later chemistry. By the end of middle school, I had participated in math club, orchestra, chamber orchestra, and science olympiad, all of which I had enjoyed and found the experience extremely valuable. My middle school life was brought to an end just recently, leading to my current life. I am currently a 14-year-old freshman named Joshua Song of Chinese descent. I am currently enrolled into Adelaide E. Stevenson High School summer program. I would consider myself a responsible student as I always strive for the best grades possible, and I plan to play in the Stevenson Orchestra and compete in science or biology Olympiad. And currently take violin lessons and do swim team outside of school. Thank you.
Very good. Another really well-written speech.
Almost 5 minutes.
Almost 5 minutes? Excellent. Very well written, very articulate. You speak very well. And I see it was a little difficult, but you did do eye contact. You were still reading a lot. What we want to do is we want to learn as much as we can. Rehearse your speech over and over again so you don't have to read the speech. You can have the notes up here and kind of use that as a guide and kind of look at something and say, I know what I have to say, and say it out loud when you're talking to people. Sometimes it's quick and easy to read a line very quickly in your head, then look up and say the thing as you're talking to people. All right? But a great, great speech. I'm very proud of you. Fantastic. I know you were dying to go third, but I promised some other person that they needed to go next. That's you. Come on up here. All right. I'm sorry. Ryan? All right, Ryan. All right, so you're all ready? All right. Oh, good, good. All right, so remember, what you're going to do is a lot of eye contact. All right? Smile at these people. These are all your friends. What?
These icebreakers seem more like a memoir instead of an icebreaker.
They're beautifully written, okay? You
So I
can
thought.
learn something from
They're
them.
saying I write ugly stuff. Thank you very much.
Well, I didn't say that out loud. Okay.
Whoa, okay.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right, excellent. No, you did a great job. All right.
Thanks, it is.
By the way, my speech has a totally different approach than theirs, so just a heads up. So, and to begin, my name is Ryan Maxiu. I am 12 years old and I go to Fremont Middle School. I'll be going into 7th grade, and sadly my 6th grade hasn't ended yet. We end on Wednesday, which sucks. I have 3 main hobbies that include soccer, basketball, and learning about PCs. To begin, I really enjoy playing soccer. I think it's really fun, and I started when I was only 6 years old. Fun fact was when I started, when my mom enrolled me, I cried and whined to the point where my mom almost like just didn't let me play because I was that annoying. To go on, I play I play central or left defender right now, and sometimes, but it's pretty rare, I get switched to right defender. Although this hasn't always been the case, when you're young, you usually play all over the place because the coaches want to learn like what positions you play best, and they want you to improve on every aspect of the game. But when you like grow up to be my age, the coaches realize what you play best and what you play and what are your strong points. So, and that's how they basically assign you a position. Right now, I also play travel soccer. Something that I really like about it is that I get to travel to many amazing places like Champaign, Minnesota, and Memphis. And all in all, soccer is really fun, and it gets me like pumped up and happy. And like I said in the beginning, another hobby that I really enjoy is basketball. I also started at a really young age, like soccer, but I don't know how old I really was. I don't really want to admit this, but I mean, because it might sound like I'm too good and I'm bragging, although that's not the case. But I started at the Y, and I think I was a little bit too good for everybody. I always scored the most points, and usually the one who like made the best plays and all that stuff. And because of that, I also usually guarded the opponent's best player. Sadly though, I stopped after 4th grade to pursue soccer, but I mean, it's a win-lose, but whatever. But recently, in 6th grade, this 6th grade year, I joined a feeder team. Feeder team is just the basketball team for our district. I made it, surprisingly, somehow, I don't know how, but I made it to the A team. But my season, the way I played wasn't really well because I scored only 2 points, but whatever. I think the reason why is because my shooting abilities and my technique was really rusty because I hadn't played for like 1 or 2 years. And to add on, my coach was one of those those yelling coaches that yelled at every nitpicky thing we didn't do correctly. So, I mean, that kind of brought me down. But, I mean, I still think I learned a lot from him, and overall, I think I became a better player. In conclusion, I mean, I love basketball, and I think even if you don't think you're athletic enough, you should still try it. The last hobby I enjoy is learning about PCs. I know some of you might be thinking that learning about PCs isn't really a hobby, but whatever, I still consider it one. So, to start, PCs can be used to game on, or it can be used for business purposes. My brother Ian bought a lot of parts and created his own, and after he created it, that caught my eye, and that really interested me. So I started to learn about PCs and watch YouTube videos from J2Sense, Bitwit, or Linus Tech Tips. They all teach me the basics on how to build one and what you should and shouldn't buy. To end, I find learning about PCs to be very interesting and enjoyable. Those are just a few of my hobbies. For example, another one of my hobbies is playing the trumpet. And as you guys might know, well, probably know, I have a dad and a mom and a brother who, still my family helped me explore the many hobbies I have right now, and if I hadn't tried them out, I don't think I'd be doing things that I really enjoy. And yeah, that's all I have.
Very good speech. All three speeches so far, very well written, very good. Great execution. I think you did a great job making enough eye contact across the board. All right, so that's something everyone's going to keep working on. We're going to play another game, and then we're going to come back and do 3 more of the speeches, because we're here till 4:30, right?
Yeah.
4:30. All right, so we got time. All right, so this is going to be a word association game. If I were to say the word bird, come up with any word that you think of when I say bird.
Egg.
Perfect. Excellent job. Okay. If I say zebra.
Stripes.
Perfect. Now you got it. All right. If I were to say elephant.
Trunk.
Excellent. All right. So that's all it is. It's going to be a word association. Very simple. What we're going to do is everyone's going to be in a circle. We're going to make one big circle. So we're going to push the chairs out of the way. But what we're going to do is this word association, it's going to be in alphabetical order. So if it starts A and I say apple, you have to come up with a word that begins with B that's connected to apple. So apple. Perfect. All right. And then what's going to happen is after he says banana, the person who's next to him has to come up with a word that's associated with banana. You figure out all about apple, and you come up with the C word. So if he said banana and you had C, what would you say? Okay, that's good. Actually, it's a good answer, because if he says camel and someone else in the group laughs and says, no, there's no association, you can challenge him. All right? All right? And you can say there's no connection.
Carrots.
But hold on. Yeah, carrots would be good, but you got to explain the connection. All right? Which I'm very excited because I want to hear how you connected the two, but I'm not going to challenge you. Now, if you get challenged and you are wrong, you can't come up with a connection, then the two of you have to get in the middle of the circle and do the story of conflict resolution, all based on a banana and a camel. Okay? All right? If you challenge them, if you challenge him, and for some reason he comes up with an answer going, well, I just went to the zoo and I found out that the main part of camels' diets are bananas, and that's what makes them healthy, and it's successful, then you have to go up in the middle, and you get to pick one person to go with you, and you have to do the story, conflict resolution on bananas and camels. You have a question?
Well, wouldn't the person that challenges just like choose the person that they challenge?
They can choose that. That's fine. That's fine. All right. So
What if you have an explanation that carrots are related to bananas?
that's fine. Whatever you want to do. I'll be the judge if it's a good challenge or not. All right. So everyone understands? Everyone understands the game?
I feel bad now.
You guys understand it, right? You're excited to play. I can tell. You're all excited. I can see it.
I'm dead.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You guys all excited? You understand? Right? Yep. All right. Let's start. Get a circle. We might have to push these chairs back a little bit.